Hi everyone, Linda Reed-Enever, Ideas and Marketing Strategist. There's a lot of buzz out there at the moment about community-led or community-driven marketing. Now, I've been running communities for a number of years, most probably more years than I care to mention. But what is this buzzword about? Why should we be doing it? How does it work and how does it empower our business? Let's dive into it. Let's have a good look at community-driven marketing and how you can make it work for you and your business.
Welcome to the Talk Podcast with Ideas Strategist Linda Reed-Enever. Talk is where we chat about ideas and inspiration you can use to market your business. Get ready for practical tips you can implement today with your host, Linda Reed-Enever.
Community-driven marketing is all about making your audience part of the co-creation of your marketing journey and your branding journey. It's bringing them along with you. Rather than just broadcasting to them, you're making them part of the journey. So in our case here at Reed-Enever Group, we run a community called Business, Business, Business. We've been doing that for over 11 years. And that community helps shape the content that I make, the content that Clive makes. It has even seen us bring in things like the Youngpreneurs Society. So we listen to that community, we engage with that community, and then we lead based off what that community tells us, okay? So community-driven marketing is all about bringing the audience with you. I have clients who do this very well as well. They bring their audience with them. They're telling the stories, they're educating alongside, they're asking for feedback, and then they're bringing their audience along the ride. There are a few things that make community-driven marketing successful. The first one is listening before we lead. So we need to listen to what is happening out there for our audience or our potential audience or the community that we want to serve and bring along with us. Now we can do that by engaging in other people's Facebook communities, other groups, other areas from there. We can create our own and start listening to them. If we listen to our clients, to our customers, to our community, they will tell us what they want. That then means that we create products and services that are more easily offered to them and have a high uptake level because we've actually listened and then we've led with our product offering, or we've led with the solutions, or we've led with the community that we've built along the way. So listening before you lead is the first step in success within this journey. The next thing we need to do when we build a community, good communities have advocates. So we want to empower advocates. So I, for example, am a Thinkific approved expert, which means I'm an advocate for Thinkific. I love what they do. Empowering our advocates to talk about us, to be an affiliate, to get out there and shout about what we do means that people work well. And if I look at my Ideas, Impact and Marketing Circle, some of the best advocates I have come from the business community and are now advocating for why other people should be coming along and learning inside my inner circle and my inner community along the way. And what you're hearing now is the secret. There are lots of little communities. You might have a public facing one and then an inner circle one that's monetized, that's that next level. It's all about taking people along the journey about where they can meet you. The other thing that makes community-driven marketing successful is we're creating spaces that are safe for people, spaces where they can engage, and we're not just creating campaigns. It's a strategy, and yes, there are campaigns to drive people to these spaces, but in the end, we are creating a space. So business, using the example, is a space for business owners to hang out. If those community members inside business like a little bit of what I do, or they like a little bit of what Clive does, and they want that more one-on-one contact with us, then they naturally move into the membership area, either the Business Wisdom Vault with Clive or the Ideas, Impact and Marketing Circle with me. And now, listening to our members, listening to the younger members of our community, we're creating a space for youngpreneurs as well. And that means that they've got their space. By creating that space, we then can empower these people to grow. So some of the best successes when we are community-driven business, we're driving for community, is the successes of our community. And I know, especially for me in the Ideas, Impact and Marketing Circle and the retreats that I run, seeing the successes of the members is quite often more exciting for me than the successes I get in my own marketing. So you've heard me talk about some examples about community-driven marketing and some real-life examples about how we use it here in Reed-Enever Group. Why does it work? Well, let me start with the first one. We've got that know, like, and trust factor, and trust will convert and the word will spread faster than advertising, then no matter how many dollars we can put it together. So if we've got trust, if people trust us, if people trust the word of the advocate referring through to us, trust will increase value and conversion time and time again, more than an ad campaign where it's cold and there's no trust at all. So establishing trust, educating your market, driving and bringing a community along with you is a wise investment when it comes to your marketing. The other added bonus about community-driven marketing and about educating your market and engaging with them on a regular basis is that feedback loop is instant. We're not waiting, 2 or 3 years. We're not waiting 6 months. If we're there delivering live sessions, turning up with our community, hearing what they've got to say, then we've got a live feedback loop, which allows us to adjust and pivot a lot quicker than the people that are not doing community-driven marketing. If you're amongst your people, if you're teaching amongst your people, if you're amongst your people because you're an advocate for them, you get their feedback straight away. And that feedback is priceless. And the ability to adjust quickly because you've got that feedback is absolutely what sees community-driven marketing 10 times steps ahead of those that are waiting for feedback from focus groups and those sorts of things. So that feedback loop being instant is an absolute game changer in making sure that your campaign is on track, because once again, we're listening before we lead. We're listening before we put the solution out there. So therefore we are delivering the right solution to our people on that time. And the final one is retention beats reach. If we can retain someone who's already engaged and already trusts us, then it is better than reach. You will hear me say time and time again, we do not need to be viral. We need to reach the right person at the right time, at the right moment. And now if they're part of our community and they grow with us and they climb that marketing tree with us, then we can retain them from the moment they had the seed of interest right through to when they reach our top level service offering. Now, some people will do that quickly. Some people will do that slowly, but retention beats reach every time. Trust travels faster than ads, and feedback instantly is much better than focus group. So here's 3 ways you can build your market through community with your people. Invite collaboration, ask for input on products, packaging, vote for things along the way, feature user-generated content in your market. If someone loves your product and they've done a video of that, feature it, mention it out there, run polls, run challenges, get some feedback, get them sharing and advocating for you. Those good old hashtag campaigns, the tag us and mention 5 friends, those sorts of things are really good ways for you to drive community-driven market because they're recommending things to your friends. If you've got members or clients, spotlight them. If they're doing amazing things, if you're a retail agency, if you're a wholesaler, you've got products out there that people are retailing, show off what they do. Your retailers love a shout out, and you're going to help your sales by supporting them along the way. Co-create experiences. This is a big one. If you have got people that you're partnering with, or you've got experts or people that you recommend, co-create experiences. I mentioned earlier that I'm a Thinkific approved expert. I've run co-created sessions with Thinkific, not only for my benefit, but for their benefit, where we've been sharing and running expertise. We do the same with other brands here that we work with, like Me Edgar. We jump in there and we co-create material together that not only helps me be seen as an expert, but also helps their product get in front of my people and have a transfer of trust from me to them, and vice versa. They transfer trust to me when they say that I'm an expert and I know my stuff is inside that area. So some of the ways we can then promote that community is then making sure that we share behind the scenes moments. I also might ask our people to run a testimonial. The other thing you can do is host Ask Me Anything sessions, and you can run community-based challenges or community-based spotlights that will highlight members of your community. And I love to see all those things working. If you've not delved into the world of community marketing, first of all, you want to map out your current community touch points. So it might be the email database that you have, the socials, the events, and the memberships that maybe you're running or you're looking at running. Then you want to pick one space to nurture. So is it going to be our social media, or is it going to be our email list? What are we going to nurture along the way first? And then we start maybe our feedback ritual. So that could be our weekly polls, Q&A threads, those sorts of things. You want to start that feedback reach in there. And then you want to show the impact. You want to talk about how that impact is actually changing the materials and things that you are creating. There are a few pitfalls to avoid in this process as well. Make sure that we don't ignore the feedback that our people give us, treating that community like a marketing list, so just only selling to them rather than providing value, and over promoting without giving space for the community to be involved. You know the groups that are out there that work well for you. You know the communities where you can get involved, and you know where you can feel the participation that's going to happen inside that area. So the mindset shift that you need to make when it comes to community marketing is audience now becomes participants, marketing becomes facilitation where you're facilitating a space, and selling comes to growing with. And by doing that, your marketing feels more natural, it feels more engaged, you become the thought leader, and the community grows with you. So until next time, I'm Linda Reed-Enever. I'm an ideas and marketing strategist. If you would like to join some of my communities, you can jump into the business community. If you would like to be part of my inner circle, then the Ideas, Impact and Marketing Circle is for you. And I look forward to seeing your businesses grow too.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Talk with Linda Reed-Enever. Make sure you subscribe via your favourite podcast app so you don't miss the next great episode. You can find more ideas and inspiration at enevergroup.com.au.